then a big project. Okay, so like you will gain some confidence. Okay, in starting you will gain some motivation when like you will be contributing into it. So the next part is learn about two basic things. That is creating an issue and creating a pull request. Okay, now let's. So the question is like, what is an issue? Okay, like what's an issue? So like basically you can describe issue in a two-way. First of all, it is in bug. Okay, or either it is in feature request. So basically, let's suppose I have a VLC media player. So I will give example of VLC media player. It will be easy for you to understand. Let's suppose in VLC media player, uh, let's say like what happens that like you are not able to like operate the fast forward button, let's say. Okay, so that is a bug in that software. Okay, so someone might has like actually I know it's a critical bug, but let's suppose someone has like uh, marked in on the GitHub, and you that's an issue. Okay, and let's suppose you need to implement a new feature in VLC Media Player as per your wish. So let's suppose you want to apply some gesture features on VLC Media Player. So that's also an issue. Okay, so like these are the issues which are reported, and you need to pick up those. Okay, next is a pull request. So what is pull request? Let's suppose you have made your code, like you have fixed that issue, and you have made that feature. So you want to send that code patch to the code owner so that he merges the code in his code base. So what he will do, you will create a pull request, then he will review your code. If it suits, fine. If it doesn't suit, fine, he will recommend you to do some changes. So and once you're done with the changes, and when he approves the code, he will merge that code in the code base. So that's the thing with creating a pull request. So like these are the very basic two basic things you can see. So actually like, you can go through many tutorials on YouTube. Like there are many tutorials for learning Git and GitHub. Like there are tons of tutorials. So like you can focus on any one of them, pick one of them and learn from it. So like that will be enough for you. The next is like one of the very good guide to start contributing is that it's you can follow. Actually, it's a link. The user ID of the GitHub is Tapeswari Pathak. Actually, she has done lot of contributions in open source, and she has also helped many people to starting into open source. So it's a guide which you can follow to contribute into open source. Okay, so you can see the link, or you can take a screenshot, or at the else we will also provide the slides. And let's suppose like you are done with a beginner friendly project. Okay, you have selected a beginner friendly project, and you are able to contribute into it. So now it's a chance to move to a big project of your domain so that you can start a contribution there. Let's suppose like you were into web development, and you made a small you did a contribution in a small beginner friendly project. So now it's your time, uh, such that you can like move to a very big good project and contribute into that. So okay, let's suppose like you have moved to the good project. So now the question comes like how to pick the issues in the starting. Because in the starting, what you will see really a tons of issues over there. So Siddhant will show you in his talk all the things, all the aspects of this. So I will just tell you a brief. So like how to pick issues. So basically in the issue section, you will see like there are tons of issues. Okay. So the thing is that like you need to find the easiest of ones in the starting, because there are many beginner friendly issues which actually the developers like leave for the newcomers who can solve. So like they are actually labeled as beginner friendly, first comers, newcomers, easy, good first issue, and many more labels. Okay, so like you can try to find the issues like that. In that case, like you can choose the issue and then you can start working. Okay, so the next part is that like how much time a issue takes to resolve. Okay, like how, let's suppose you have picked a issue. Let's suppose you have picked a good first issue. That is, you have picked up an easy issue. Then how can you resolve that issue and how much time it will take? So basically, thing is that like you need to understand the project idea, like how it's working. You need to get an overview of the code base, not like you need to learn the whole code base. You just need to get an overview, like this directory is using this, is made for this directory is made for this directory is made for this. So you need to get an overview, and it might take you up to 15 days maybe to solve an easy issue in the starting. But the thing is that like you don't need to get demotivated. You need to do the best. Okay. Like if the issue is of medium or high level, like it is one like a high level issue which requires some research work actually, so it may take up to 1 month. So like that's actually possible. Like don't need to like panic like I'm not able to solve the issue and how could I like I'm even not able to solve the issue. So that's not a problem. Just focus on any one thing, and then you will be good to go. Okay. And the next is like asking help from organization admin. So like that's like one of the important thing we need to discuss, because let's suppose you are in a new project and you want to start your contribution and you are asking for help. So whom do you ask for help? Okay, like you need some help. So whom do you ask? So like one of the uh, like good option to ask, like it is one of the best option to ask for help is like you can like ask your doubts on the community channel, because every organization has a community channel in which all the code owners are there and all the members are there who contribute in that. So like it is actually maintained on like different community have different community channels on different platforms. Like it can be on Gitter, it can be on Telegram, Slack, Discord, it can be on IRC chat rooms. So like in this case you need to like find the community channel and you can ask your doubt over there. So like it's actually like they will be really happy to help you, because when they see a new contributor it seems like you want to do something, so they will really help you. Okay. And like you don't need to think like how they will judge you. Okay. And you just ask a question in the community channel, and like at least there will be someone who will be helping you. The next thing comes, also try not to ping someone personally unless it is very much important. That's the thing. Like, let's suppose like I am pinging a code owner to like I'm not able to get this, I'm not able to get this. So like that will be really like uh, disturbing for the code owner, because he will not be able to, because he can be disturbed with your messages. So like you can stop like pinging someone personally, try to ping in the community channel, so that will be really great. And someone will really help you on the community channel. Yeah, so at last what I can say, like don't get demotivated, because like it's really a long journey in open source. You need to be patient, and like and you need to do the consistent efforts, because sometimes I already told you like solving an issue might take you up to 10 to 15 days to solve. So like in that case you might get demotivated, but you don't need to get that, because it takes some time, because like good things take time. Okay. If I move forward, so like I have entered, okay, so like this is the consistency is the key to success. That's what I can say. Like you need to be consistent throughout your open source journey. Like don't think like I can take a 1 month break, like one day I contributed, then I'm taking break, then I'm next day contributing. So that's not the case. Try to be consistent, because I know you can take a break of like up to like 3 to 5 days. If you have contributed for months, you can take a break. But like if you have just started like doing taking a break like after 1 or 2 days of contribution and like taking long days, so like that's not like good. Okay. And so like I will first of all like go through once again this thing. Like first of all, like what these are the prerequisites. You need to learn a language and a version control. Next, you can even learn any domain, that is development, network development, or even machine learning. And next is pick a beginner friendly project. So like these are the websites you can see. And the next is in which we met after 5, and we discussed. We met after the college hours, and we discussed what we can do in open source, and there were many seniors who helped me. So after the first in the first year, I just gained some knowledge about open source and learned a little bit of how to operate GitHub, how to upload the project and like that. So when I moved to the second year, I thought that I should do something more into open source. I can even contribute more. So what I did that, at that time I was knowing Python. Okay, so at that time I was knowing Python. So in the next, what I did, I made some projects on my own. So I made around 3 to 4 projects. So I was now familiar with the Python, and I had a good command on it. So what I thought that I can now start contributing into it, any Python organization or any Python project. So what I did that, I picked in the starting a very beginner friendly project in which I contributed. Okay, and then I moved to some good project that was a Opia. So it's a project by Google. You can even see it on the website opia.org, and it selects approximately 10 students yearly in Google Summer of Code. So I started contributing into it. So earlier I started contribution to the backend because Opia backend was based on the Python framework. So I was quite familiar with that. So I started contributing into it. So in the starting, for 1 or 2 months, I was able to only solve around 2 to 3 issues, you can say. But when I moved to the next year, that was 2019, I was able to solve around 3 to 4 issues in January, and then February I was at good pace, so I was solving many issues, many issues. So in the at the end of February, I got the team member request from the national admin. So in this way, I started my journey in the Opia. And what all involvement? So what was involvement in the Opia team? Okay, so what work I was involved in. So I was a part of various teams in Opia. You can say a graphics team, a contributors onboarding team, dev workflow team, and I was also a release coordinator. So this was the my contribution to Opia team. Issues in the Opia, which actually was really good. And the thing is that solving it was really fun, because for me it was fun because you need to first take a issue, and then you need to do a lot of research work, and then you need to find the problem, why it's occurring. Then you need to write your own code and fix that, and that code get merged in the code base. So that was really good. So, and the best part is that contributing in open source enhance your development skills very fast. Okay, because in open source you actually write the code which is actually implemented in the industry, and many people are using that software. Okay, so your software can and the next thing was that I also applied for the Google Summer of Code under the Opia. Completed that. So that 3 months for Google Summer of Code was really, I can say, the best part of my of my development journey, open source development, because in those 3 months I learned a lot, because I learned about many aspects of software engineering. So that was really great. So if I say if you want to be a software developer, at least you should give a try to this Summer of Code program, or you should try for open source contribution. That's for sure if you want to become a developer at the end. So now the question comes, what are the benefits of contributing to open source? Why should we contribute? So that's the main point over there. So the next part, so the part is that it improves your coding skills. So as I already told you, that's the main point. Why we want to contribute, because it improves the coding skills. Okay, let's suppose you have to write let's suppose you have to make a project of your own. Then what you do that, you don't make the project according to the scalability. Let's suppose you want to extend that project, you will make a project only for your level, Okay, like if you make a project for a big organization, let's suppose VLC Media Player or Mozilla Firefox, you need to make sure that that code doesn't break out anywhere. So you need to make a very good code, and like it should be errorless according to you and according to the mentors. It might be the chance that might code break. So like that's not the case, but it should be at the best. And the next part is that like you get the insight of actually how the code is written at an industrial level. So like this is like the like one of the good benefits of open source, because like let's suppose like when you will be leaving your college and you will be working in your different MNCs, like different tech giant companies like Amazon, Google, or any company, Microsoft, any else. So like you will be learning how to write the code at an industrial level, because your code will be deployed in the actual app or website or anywhere, and it will be used by many people. So you need to make the code errorless, so that everyone is able to use that. So if you are into open source contribution, you will gain that experience very early. So that's the best part. Okay. So okay, so the next part is that like your network increases as your work with as you work with different people of different places. So like when you work with in open source culture, like you contact with different persons first of all. Like you come in contact with different engineers from different companies, or maybe different students of different colleges. So like when I was contributing into OPR, so I was like in contact with many Google engineers and many students from IITs, BITS, and like many foreign institutes also. Like so that was a good part, because I like learned a lot from them, like how what the process they, so like how to think and what all they code and many stuff. So you learn many things from them. And the next is like as I already told, you learn the process of software engineering. That is like you can like you will be learning all the steps of software engineering, because if you are a CS student or if you have done a software right now, you will be doing just like you start one day and like you complete software in 2 to 3 days, and that's fine. But in the whole process of software journey, you need to first discuss the requirements of the project, then you make a design documentation, then you start building a project stepwise, then you do meetings, like how your project is going, like what all error are facing, what you have completed till now, and what you will be completing next. So like that's all things are discussed, and at the end you write some tests, all the tests for the code you have written, so your code passes all the tests, and then it's like tested on production environment, then it's deployed. So like it's the whole process of software engineering. That's the main part you learn in learn in open source development. And the next is you create a code which benefits the community. So that's the main point of open source. Like let's suppose you are using a software and you are writing a code for it. So like that's the best part, because you are benefiting too many people, because you have made software, and like that software is used by many people. So like that's the best part. So like these are the benefits of the open source. And yeah, so I will sum up my talk, and like thank you very much for hearing this. So I hope you like the thing what I told you. And even you can connect me on LinkedIn and on my GitHub account. So like these are my links. You can take a screenshot if you want. And now my friend Siddhant will continue, and he will tell you more insights of open source and open source programs. Okay.
Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yeah. You're audible.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, okay, so yes. So, hey everyone, as Anubhav said, like open source and its benefits. So, I'm just going to like add some points to it, and then I'm going to share what are the open source programs and open source tool programs that are currently available and which are really important for us since we are currently students. So, let's start. So, firstly, something about me. I'm Siddhant. I'm a third year undergraduate. Currently, I'm an intern at Deep Source, where we work on automated code reviews and we build analyzers, language analyzers. I have been a Google Summer of Code 2019 student with Public Lab. There, I work mostly on JavaScript end of one of its projects. So let's talk about them. Firstly, a typical open source project includes the following type of members in the community. So, firstly, there is an author. Author is the creator of the project. Suppose if I create a project and I push the source code to GitHub, then I am the author of the project. Owner, sometimes what happens that the author leaves the project due to some reasons, or they step down from the project because they won't work on another project when it gets popular. So a new term was coined named as owner. Owners are the one who are the co-owners of the project organization. Then come the maintainers. Maintainers are the one who have been contributing to the project from a long time, and they mainly review the pull requests and they drive the vision of the project. That means they decide in a meeting that what new features should be implemented in the project and what bugs need to be solved in the project. So if you make a pull request to a project, any open source project, it is reviewed by the maintainer of that particular project. Next come the contributors. Contributors are like us who contribute to a project. So when we contribute to a project for a long period of time and the maintainers get to know that, yeah, this guy has some knowledge of the project, like he can review others pull requests also, then they can make us the maintainers of the community. Members are all the people that are present in the community of that project and who use that project. So, community member, if you use VLC and you are in that community, you join that community, you are one of the community members of VLC in here. So, these are the like most important type of methodologies that are used for members in the open source projects community. Nextly, there are some basic components of an open source. These are five main basic components that are present in every popular open source project. First is license, second is README, third is contributing guide, fourth is code of conduct, and fifth is documentation. So I guess most of you know about React project, React.js. It is like quite popular in industry, and every internship writes a requirement skilled in React.js and all that. So, and it is an open source project. It is made by Facebook. Earlier, it was closed source and it was maintained by Facebook inside, but then they made it open source so that community can contribute to it also. So, this is the React.js source code. So here we see like this is the organization name Facebook, and this is the React directory or the React repository. So it contains all the source code that is imported when you write import React from React. So this is the whole source code that works. So let's find out the basic components of the project in it. Firstly, I said the first component is license. Let's see, this is the license file. So Facebook follows the MIT license. Here you can see there are some permissions and some limitations and some conditions. So what is the use of license? See, if you open source your project and after warranty limitation and has a liability limitation. So there is a nice website known as choosealicense.com. So when you start an open source project and you think like which license should I choose for my project, you can go to this website known as choosealicense.com, and here you have some options like if you need I need a community work in a community, then use this license. The MIT license is simple and permissive. GNU GPL version 3. Like it is the general public license. So this website is great if you want to find a license for it. Secondly, there is a README. So the README is like the lifeblood of any open source project. In React, see, the README is a whole summary of the project. It starts with the React with JavaScript library. It is declarative component based, learn once, write anywhere. It has the installation steps. It has the documentation. It has examples. It has the contributing guide. Yeah, contributing guide, which I mentioned as the third important component of a project. So it has the contributing guide, and it has a code of conduct, which I mentioned as the fourth component, and it has also a link to the good first issue. We'll come to come back to it later, and it has give it a read. Like its name is README, so you should read it. So you should start with like React, this, okay, and then how to install it, then what is the documentation. Let's go to the documentation. So this is the whole documentation of React.js. Like they firstly ask you to build a web app. There is a tutorial for it, and then there is all these guides here. So it is very well documented, and they have some examples. They have a contributing guide. So the main contributing guide is here, contributing.md. .md stands for Markdown, means it is in Markdown format. Like we write in txt, we write in dot cpp. So that's the same as Markdown. So this is the contributing line. What to contribute to React? There are a few things you need to do. We wrote a contribution guide to help you get started. So just open this contribution guide, and they have listed all the steps that can help you to get started with contributing to React.js. So this is just an example. Like I guess you understand. Like every open source project has these components which help you to contribute to it. They also have a code of conduct. Yes, code of conduct to stop the contributors from using bad language or bad behavior practices in the community or while contributing to the source code. So they use the contributor component as the code of conduct for them. So when you have found the right project, suppose you found the right project that this project I'm going to contribute. Suppose you are going to contribute to React. And so I have made a checklist here, like what you can do to like what are the next steps that you can follow. So firstly, join the communication channel of React. There must be communication channel in the website. So if you go to the documentation website, or yeah, there is a community tab here. Stack Overflow, popular discussion channels. So, firstly, you should join their communication channel. Secondly, when you join the communication channel, start talking to the maintainers and fellow contributors to gather context about the project, like how the project really works, which directory contains which part of code, and you can find who are the main contributors, who are the main maintainers by seeing here. You can see like which contributor has how many contributions, this contributor has how many contributions when you open this. So you can have an idea like whom I can approach to get help. After you like start talking to people in the community, ask them like, can you direct me to an issue, or can you like help me to get on an issue to work? So and then open a pull request for that issue. But I guess you need to know what an issue and what an ER is also is. And above, I guess, told what an issue and what a pull request is. I can help. I can like tell you practically what that is. So here we go. These are the issues. This is the issue tag. Issues are mainly like you are using React and you get a bug in that. So there must be a platform where you can file that bug. So here all the bugs are listed and these are termed as issues. So this is the first bug. Like it has been opened recently in 14 hours ago. But the context component can't be identified. Okay. Second bug, unexpected re-render using mutable source. Okay. So when you open this project and you find these bugs and you say, oh my god, these are so tough and what do you mean by use mutable source and all this? So like you get overwhelmed, like, oh my god, I can't contribute to this project. This is so tough. But this is the point you have to not lose faith. You have to just write here good first issue. You have to just filter those issues by a tag named as good first issue. Then what comes out are the only good first issue tag issues related to that are made by the community itself for beginners to start contributing. So the first issue which is already taken, that is feature request have context of provider for a fixing value prop. Okay. This is also good first issue, it is taken. So here you can see there are so many good first issues and most of them are taken. But still, don't lose faith, keep scrolling. Okay. Let's go to the second page. Okay. Oh my god, yes. Here we found a good first issue which has not been taken. It is still in a green label. So what you can do, you can filter the issues by still clicking on it. If you click on it, it lists see the green good first issue labels. So two good first issues are there which have not been taken. You can read about them. Okay. Unexpected warning when hydrating in portal and SSR. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know much like, but still, what I can do is I can copy the link to the issue and I can send to the channel when I join the community. And I can ask them like, hey, can you help me on this issue? Can you help me like how to solve this issue? Can you guide me? How can I make a solution for this issue? So it is the responsibility of the maintainers of the project to help you contribute in order to fix this issue. They cannot back out from it. So this is the tried and tested way to start contributing. Also, a better way to start contributing to any project is by start contributing to the documentation. So React has an awesome documentation there. It's there on this website. So if you find that something is error, some error is anywhere, like some comma is missing anywhere, some spelling mistake is there anywhere, you can start contributing by fixing that also. No one said that you have to just start contributing by inserting a new feature into React.js. No, you have to start contributing with small things, and then, as Anubhav said, you can grow to bigger contributions, like even a new feature. So that is the whole workflow. Yeah, I guess you must have asked like what is an issue and what is a PR. So we have already discussed what is an issue. Let's discuss what is a PR. PR stands for pull requests. What are pull requests? Pull requests are mainly the code that we push to the project in order to fix the issues. Let's see one of the pull requests. So this is one of the pull requests that was made by this person and it has changed all four files. So let's see the code changes now. He has changed the see he has also started contributing by he also contributed to the documentation. He has changed the README file somewhat. He has made some changes to the README. Then he has made some code changes and he has pushed them. So now what is happening is yeah, he is the maintainer of the project, Brian Morgan, and he is reviewing the code. Like see, he has reviewed something and then he also said something back. So this is the whole workflow that happens when you contribute to an open source tool. So if you open a directory of a project and you see like all these things and you don't know the terminology like what are issues and what are pull requests, you get somewhat frightened like, oh my god, what are these? What are pull requests? Why is it pull? So yeah. So in order to help to ease in that, like I talked about these things. I guess what is a PR that is clear. How does an open source project look like? So yeah, you must be thinking like open source project should be like something like very much like domination anything. No, it is just a simple directory structure. It is the first directory known as Circle CI. There is code sandbox, then GitHub, then fixtures, then packages, then scripts, and then these all files. Like you have a folder inside your local directory when you make any project. So packages contain all the packages related to React. This is the React package that you use, and all other files are related to the project. So there is nothing to like fear about, like open source is hard and this is like, there is nothing like that. Nothing. So yeah. Also, one more thing, like most folks have this doubt, like I don't like much to code. I am more interested in the theory part of computer science. So how can I contribute to open source in that way? So we have something for you that also. So this is a quote from Orta. He is a maintainer of GraphQL. GraphQL is a really interesting new technology that has also been made by Facebook. It is an open source project now. So says like I have been renowned for my work on Cocoa Pods, but most people don't know that I actually don't do any real work on Cocoa Pods tool itself. My time on the project is mostly spent doing things like documentation and working on brand. I mean, he's very popular among the open source people, but he doesn't work on the code. He works on documentation and he works on the branding of the project. So if you like to code, then you are in. But if you don't like to code, then you are in too. I mean, there is nothing like you. If you code only, then only you can contribute to open source. You'll be like, really? What? I mean, this is so interesting. So let's see how you can do that. So if you like to design, then you are in, firstly, because every open source project needs a website. See, React has a website here. It would not have been made without designers. The designers design the website, like how the component should look, how this tab should look, and then the front end developers code it out into like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and all. So if you are into design, then you are in. You can contribute to any open source project by designing their logo, designing their website, designing their like brochures, anything. If you like to write, then you are into. For example, if you like to do documentation of anything, if you like to make, like, if you get fun in making college reports, college project reports, then you are in. You are very much welcome to write the documentation of anything. It is said like the documentation is as important as the code of anything. If React did not have this much nice documentation, it would not have been this much popular and not have been this much adopted by the community worldwide. This is due to the documentation that people can easily learn and people can easily interpret what it is trying to express. So that is why documentation is at most important. So you can contribute to the documentation also. If you like to organize stuff, you are into. For example, let me show you one issue. Mm, yeah. So this is the ESLint repository, and in this, one of the maintainers of the project, he only work on commenting the issues which are stale, like which are old and which are new. So I mean, if you like to organize stuff better, then also you can contribute to open source project by labeling the issues, by adding like good first issue to the easy issues. So like you can help them organize stuff. If you like helping others and even helping others code, you can absolutely help other newcomers that come to a project by making them contribute to the project. Like there are mentorship sessions in the open source projects. We will talk about them later in this PPT only. So you can participate in that mentorship sessions. So I mean, if you do anything related to technology, related to software culture, you are very much welcome to contribute to open source projects. You don't have to just write code on open source projects. You can So it was really nice program that was started earlier by GitHub, but now GitHub don't sponsor it, I guess. So go to its website. It's really nice. The website is also really nice. So sure, give a try. It happens in October. It will happen this year also. I don't know if COVID affects it, but I guess it will happen. Also, this Linux Foundation, which offers many mentorship programs. So it offers scholarship programs also. Anubhav has received one of the Linux Foundation scholarships, while it also gives many mentorship programs, like in various projects like Open Mainframe project, and there is Cloud Native Computing Foundation project, and many other important projects related to Linux. So you can go to its website, just Google the Linux Foundation mentorship program, and you can find the programs there. So it has expanded mentorship program this year in response to COVID. Like I guess it is accepting more students this year. There was the Igalia Coding Experience Program. Igalia Coding Experience Program is for students those who are interested in working on compilers and browser engines. So if you are interested to work on, like, Firefox has a browser engine known as SpiderMonkey, the JavaScript engine known as SpiderMonkey, and I guess Safari browser has WebKit as its JavaScript browser engine. So if you're interested to work on them, then you can surely Google this program out, the Early Coding Experience program. It is really nice, and you get to work with mentors who have been working on that software from a very long time. So it really helps you out. Other important programs like Google Summer of Earth Engine, if you're interested in astronomy and all that. Alibaba Summer of Code, it is sponsored by Alibaba. Genome Internship Program, if you use Genome and want to contribute to it, there is Genome Internship Program. And there are lots of them at this GitHub link, that is only part of open source program. Let me show you this once. Yeah, so this is the GitHub repository, and this is the whole list of programs that she has. So there are a lot of programs. Some of them are inactive currently, but you can take a look at them. I guess you may find some of them inactive, but mostly of them are active. So you need to explore, you need to explore everything, like which program suit you, which program can be of help for you. So at the last, to conclude, contribute to open source just not to improve your skills, but also to give back to the open source software you use and to help make it better. For example, if you're currently using Firefox or even Chromium as your browser, then there are certain developers who stay up at nights to maintain that software. They write code every night, every day, in order to help maintain the experience that you have currently. So it's your responsibility to give back to the community. If you know how to code, if you know how to write documentation, if you know how to design, so why can't you contribute back to the software? Like, reason some of the responsibilities that the developers that currently have of that software. So it will be really nice if you do that. So, and another point is to solve your own and others' issues. So most of the softwares that are popular currently, they have been made to solve one's issues. Like Linus Torvalds, he was using Linux operating system before, but he was having much problem with that. So he made Linux, and many people do that. Like, if you have problem in anything, like you are working and you have problem, you have to manually do anything every time, then just automate it and make the code open source. So if any other person will face that problem, then he or she can copy the code, and he or she can also solve the problem. So in the end, your software is getting popular among the folks. So that is the main goal of open source. Also, try to contribute to open source to to help make the softwares open, better, and accessible to each and everyone, so that we do not have to pay for the softwares like we had to do earlier. Like, we had to literally pay for softwares in order to get a license for a software. Like, you have to currently pay to get a licensed key for Windows, but you do not have to pay. to get Linux or Ubuntu or any of the Linux-based operating system. So try to make the softwares that are free better. Also, this is a quote which is from one of the maintainers of Freenode, which is a really important software people about. It's really nice. So working on Freenode helped me earn many of the skills I later used for my studies in university and my actual job. I think working on open source projects helps me as much as it's helped the people. So this is a very important thing as Anubhav said. Like when you go to a job, you have to work on softwares that are not much different from open source projects. So it will be better if you gain that experience earlier on. So at the last, this is from inspired from American art. Like, I want you to open source. So I guess you must have been inspired to work on open source. You surely start working on it. These are some helpful links. First is the open source guides. These guides are really nice. So surely take a look about how to contribute to open source. Second is a course by Kensi Dots about how to contribute to open source on GitHub. Third is beginner friendly projects, and these are some talks and good first issue out there. There you can find some good first issues for you. Thanks and all the best. You can find me at my website, siddhant.course, and there we have my social channels. You can contact me anytime for any doubt. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, you are
Uh,
audible.
Thank you for the wonderful session. And there is a question from our participant, one of our participants. Okay, so he asks how to make our research work to open source so that others can contribute to our work. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear. I can hear.
Actually, there is a question from one of our
Yeah, yeah,
participants.
yeah.
I'm repeating
Yeah,
it.
I got that. I got that. I
Okay.
got that. Okay, so the is asking like how to make a research work to open source so that others can contribute to your work. Okay, so like let's suppose you make a project X, so you can easily put it on GitHub. So like there is no restriction on to put on GitHub. So what you did, you can easily put on GitHub. So and actually GitHub, so like whoever like visits your like project, and if he finds if he or she finds it interesting, and like you can add a readme file for it, like as Siddhant said, like you can add a readme file and a contributing file, contributing.md, so that like if everyone comes, so that he gets to know, he or she gets to know like this is like you want someone to contribute into it. So in this way you can like get some other developers to contribute to it, and just make sure like your project is a little bit unique, then only someone will come to contribute into it. Yeah, so that's my point. Yeah, I will leave over to Siddhant. Siddhant can share his points too.
Exactly same thing. Like you should try to document the project as much as you can so that the newcomers can understand what it really does. And also, in order to share your project, you can use Hacker News. You can like share the link to your project on Hacker News on Twitter. The developer community on Twitter is very active. You can try to share the project on there also.
Thank you very much, sir. And there is another question. The question is, can I contribute to G-Shock if I just know MERN stack? MERN, MERN stack.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there are many projects
Okay,
that use
like
merge stacks.
okay, so this is a like yeah, exactly, exactly. So the thing is, yeah, like this person has asked about the MERN stack, like if you can contribute to G. Are based on MERN stack, and they're actually working on MERN stack. So like, and you can surely go for like go in the Google archive list, the link that Siddhant showed to you, and like you can find any organization which is based on your stack, and you can start a contribution into it.
Thank you so much, sir. Anyone has any more questions? You can comment. You can write here so that our speaker can answer it. Yeah, yeah, you're audible. Just ask the question.
Uh, if you can type say, then it would be great because like we are not able to hear a voice properly.
Your voice is not clear.
There is another question. Can I contribute in G-Shock if I am just a beginner in web development?
Yeah. For sure, you can contribute. Like if you are beginner, no problem. You can surely contribute. Like there are many organizations for web development. Like even for which I work was OPIA. Like that's based on purely web development. So like you can also look at that if you want, or you can look at the other organizations which are based on web development.
If you are interested in Ruby on Rails or you are interested in JavaScript related work, we can surely try Public Lab also. And there are many other organizations that are related to web. And we were also like beginner in web development when we started to contribute. Like we were not any expert, so don't need to think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Answer.
Thank you, sir. And there is one more question. Can we use Arduino libraries in our project? And if successful in making a project, then can we make it a business model?
Like I am not into much Arduino stuff, but I have worked a little bit. Like if your project is like successful, and yeah, I guess you can make the it as a business model, but like you have to look at the license of the libraries, like what license they are using. So like whether they have allowed you to use this library as for commercial purpose, then it would be great. Otherwise there might be patent attacks, so like you need to just look at the license, what license they are using, I guess.
Okay, sir. And there is another question. Sir, how can a competitive coder contribute to it?
Okay. So like that's okay, so like
I
how
was
can
waiting for this question.
okay, so how can a competitive coder contribute to it? Okay, so like basically for competitive, like for the ones who are into competitive programming, like for open source, like at least they will be knowing some language. Like if they are doing competitive programming, they will be knowing some language like C++, maybe like mostly competitive coders use C++. So they can look for some C organization related to C++, so that would be great. So I guess one is like Boost libraries in which we have like libraries built in C++. That would be great. Siddhant, you can say something.
Yeah, there is Boost and there are some in C++. I guess Arduino also uses C++ to some extent.
Yeah. Arduino also, exactly. Yeah. Right.
I mean, you just have to find the correct organization for you. There is no like partition like the open source contributor can only contribute. No, if you do competitive programming but would like to contribute to open source, you are welcome. You can contribute to any organization you want.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, will there be any so-called patent attacks? And am I granted copyright permissions?
Okay. Like
Same question the person
yeah,
asked about the Arduino.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, will there be any so-called patent attacks? Am I granted the copyright permission? So, like I'm not. I haven't like explored that much thing. I'm not sure about it. But like uh, like I was saying that like it depends on the license, like what the person is using. If the person has used this library as open source and he has made like everyone can use it commercially for commercial purpose, so like I don't think so there will be any patent attacks in that case.
Okay, thank you, sir. And there is one more question. This is not so clear, but the question says there is no organization on GSOC for React what to do.
So React doesn't participate in GSOC as of now, but there are many other projects which are made on React. Like many projects use React.js for their websites. So if you know React, if you have made some projects on React yourselves, like the personal projects, then you can contribute to that organization. Like, I guess Public Lab is going to use React in one of its projects. So you can contribute to Public Lab on that project. I mean, there are many organizations which use React. You can just search for them.
Thank you, sir. And now I would like to call Hassan for saying some words. Hassan, Hassan, your voice is not so much clear. Can you please check it?
Yeah, better than earlier. Yeah.